Hello there. Good to see you guys. Well, I can't see you, can I? But it's just a natural thing for me to say. I hope that you're all okay at this time. I decided to just come on and teach a little bit about the basics of EFT for free because so many people that I've spoken to, and it's very clear on the news and in other forms of media that there is an awful lot of stress and fear and worry in and amidst this Corona 19. So EFT is just one of the most amazing techniques that I know to be able to bring down that gut crunching worry, that sort of fear that you feel in your chest, and if it goes on, just makes you feel rough and uncomfortable. And some people will even get sort of much more and lead to a sense of overwhelm. Hi, Karen. Hi, Gary. Send me some love. Send me some hearts. um, yeah, so my clients, the people that I'm talking to, stuff that I pick up from around me, it's just very easy, isn't it, when we get this stuff and we see these pictures in our media of people really suffering and thank you. Morning, Gary. Good to speak to you. Can't see you, but I'm so glad you're joining me. So I want to explain to you how to use the very basics of EFT. Now, when we teach it, we do a 2 or a 3-day course, and on the 2-day course, we then do 6 or 7 webinars afterwards to make sure people are really up and running with it. But you can learn quite a lot about it by just doing. Hi there, Mike. Hi, nice to see you, speak to you. Nice, I've got some company, which is great. I'm living on my own, and it's just it's just good to have this interaction. Thank you. So when we have this real colossal culture of fear around, what can happen? It's almost like a mist. It's like a zeitgeist. It's very easy for us to step into it. It's very easy for us to feel it. It's very easy for us to get trapped with those horrible images of what's been going on for some people. So whether you're just at home going crazy with everybody at home, whether you're at home on your own and feeling isolated, or whether you've got real fears about your loved ones getting ill, about you coming down with it, about just 101 things can surround that and cause us to feel anxious. It can affect our sleep, it can make our tummies feel uncomfortable, it can it does, yeah, just so many things. It can just affect our blood pressure. But the big reason why it's important to manage our fear is that it depletes the immune system. And that is not something we want to have happening at the moment. Thank you. Because what happens is the brain, in all its complexity, but sometimes incredibly black and white and a very simple process, what it does is when it senses a danger from the external environment, what it does is it changes our internal environment. So the base of our brains, the structure of it hasn't changed that much in hundreds and thousands, millions of years. Okay, so we've still got this part of our brain which is designed to notice fear and stuff going wrong very, very, very quickly. So we're kind of programmed to watch out for that tiger in the bushes or a little movement of the trees, which might mean that there's a predator around. But today the predators aren't lions and tigers and things like that, or another tribe. The predators are getting made redundant, losing your job, fear of your children not being well, feeling lonely. It's all of those things, and the brain doesn't distinguish between something like a fear of redundancy or a fear of getting ill or not having enough money to pay the mortgage, it doesn't distinguish between that and a real threat to life. Okay, now all the statistics around COVID, and there are very many, but what I've read is that a large amount of people who will who will not make it through COVID are people who have really, one or two or even more underlying health conditions, and probably the ordinary flu would have caused their death anyway. So what I really urge you to do, guys, is to step out of watching lots and lots of stuff on the media, because what happens is the brain takes a snapshot of it. The brain watches that woman suffering and trying to breathe. It takes a snapshot of it. It sees that person whose mother's died in a care home and she hasn't been with her, and the brain, it's almost like photographs it, and it sticks it in your bank of memories, along with all the pictures of all the empty hospital beds, all the people struggling in China. Hi there, Milkreed. So what it does is it stores it in our emotional brain, and it fires off every time we hear something which is similar to it, and it will keep arriving. So it's almost like it's replaying all the time. Now, going back to the stressors, this becomes the life or death thing. This becomes the thing that sends us into what we call fight or flight. So we can only be in growth, or we can be in fear, and our brain it can't be in both, it can only be in one. Okay, and at the moment we want our bodies to be in growth and repair, because when we're in growth and repair, our immune system is so much stronger. What happens when we go into repair, when we go into fear or flight? All of the blood, not all of the blood, but a lot of the blood which is bathing our organs and helping to digest our food and keeping us all balanced and well, and replenishing our nervous system and our immune system, goes out to our arms and legs, ready to biff somebody to bits or just be really strong, or our heart stops pumping so we can run really quickly. Now, all of those things are absolutely brilliant when there's a real threat out there in terms of an immediate predator. But it's not at the moment, okay? So when we code COVID-19 or all the thoughts of money and stuff like that to be at that predator, we compromise our immunity. So it's why I want to do this today, and I'm going to be following this up throughout the weeks ahead, because I think we're in this for the kind of long ride, really, aren't we? It's not going to just go away tomorrow. So what EFT does, and I smile and I get so excited when I talk to you about it, it changes the photographs in the brain, if you like. It changes the associations. So if you think of, oh, I haven't got enough money, oh my God, no, I'm not gonna be able to do this, what am I gonna do? And all of your body is going out saying, oh, there's a big lion out there, there's a big tiger out there, get ready to biff. So what's happening, it's depleting your immune system. What happens is when you do the tapping, those thoughts, because I mean, it's normal to think, if there's not enough money coming in, or your money's been, you haven't got your grants coming through yet, or you haven't got a job at all, or you're worried about your partner, whatever the situation is, the emotional reaction is what signals the genes and signals our DNA to cause this real cascade of chemistry. But what EFT does is it changes the way that the brain works around the perceived problem. So in a very simple way, all we're doing is just tapping on various points, okay? And I know they've said not to tap on your face and not to touch your face, but if you do this, guys, just make sure that if you're indoors, you've really washed your hands according to the guidelines that are given, okay? Really make sure that you're doing that, a good 20 seconds with hot soapy water, doing it all, as they've told us. If you're outdoors and you're going to be using this, I'm going to show you some hand points to use so that you don't have to touch your face if you're outside and your hands aren't completely clean, okay? So mine are, by the way. So what we do is, as we're touching these certain points, these points that I'm going to teach you in just a minute are on certain what we call meridians, and they're acupuncture points. We can't see our meridians. We can photograph them with certain types of high spectrum imaging. We can see the lines in the body, and they show up. They're really amazing to see that kind of thing. And what they do is they carry electrical charges in terms of information to the brain and to the body. So when we get an anxiety about something or a worry about something, it causes a disruption in the meridians, which eventually ends up as a sort of a physical response. Okay, so when we're tapping, what we're doing is we are disrupting that response. We're disrupting the pattern that has been anchored. So, lost my job. You know, what if I get ill? What if I can't look after my children? What it does is it disrupts the pattern by sending a signal through the meridians and into the emotional part of the brain. And what I mean by the emotional part of the brain is the part that we call the limbic system. And it's here that those patterns are held, right at the kind of back of our brain. So EFT has been described by many of my clients that I've coached and worked with over this last 20 years as being almost a miracle thing, because what can happen is that you can be tapping and suddenly what was really heightened can think, well, where did that go? What happened? And it's because we're disrupting this pattern, and it can happen incredibly quickly. So I'm going to ask you here and now to take full responsibility if you're going to tap along with me, and I'm going to ask you one thing, that if you feel a heightened sense of anxiety just rising in your body as we do this, I want you to keep tapping until it's gone. Okay, if you stop, that heightened sense is just the pattern saying, oh, here I am, here we go, I'm ready. And as you're tapping, it will disrupt it and it will separate it. But if you stop tapping, you just feel anxious and it's like, well, there's nowhere for it to go. So I want you to make a promise to me, if you tap along with me, that if you feel any level of heightened anxiety or a sense coming up that, ooh, that you keep on tapping. Take some nice big breaths and keep tapping, and I promise you it will come down normally within about 10-15 seconds. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. Yay! So I think that's all I wanted to say as means of an introduction. I want my tribe, I want all of you to have the strongest immune systems possible. Yeah, it's highly likely many of us will get this thing. And the stronger our immune system, the stronger we are, the better that we're able to deal with, our immune system is able to get us strong again, process the virus and get us out the other end. I know several people have had it and they've ranged from just really mild symptoms to feeling really rotten, but they're all out the other end of it. And I know that there will be a time when I look back on these lives and think, oh God, remember what it was like in that time. And we will go into this, post-COVID times. I truly believe that the world will never be the same. I think it will be a very different place that emerges after this, and I truly believe it to be a better one. What I've seen here is so many beautiful people and communities getting stronger. And also, I'll tell you about that later. Okay, so let's go, and I'm going to show you the basic EFT points. And I'm going to leave it for just a minute, because anybody that hasn't washed their hands, whose hands aren't clean and wants to tap along, please go and scrub your hands for 20 seconds in the advised way. Remember, doing like that, and then your thumb and your side of your hands. Go and wash your hands thoroughly now. And I'll just talk about something else for a few seconds, for about a minute, before we move on. And what I wanted to say is that the 4th and 5th of April, we're in the 4th now, so 5th tomorrow, that's right. We are coming through an extraordinary planetary alignment where Venus crosses the Pleiades. And don't ask me any more than that because I'm not an astrologer, but some of my friends are, and they say it's a really amazing time. And there are mass meditations organised for the early out for tonight and tomorrow morning, depending on where you are on our beautiful planet, to just bring the light in, just bring the love in. And I'm certainly going to join in. If you just put in the search bar planetary meditation 4th, 5th of April, you'll see several links, and several people, in fact I'll share it after this, are actually giving lovely free little audios to just take you through this 20-minute meditation. In the UK, it's 3:45, it's 3:45 a.m. I'm going to be there, but if you're not going to get up to do that, it doesn't matter. It's not just that tiny little window. That's just an optimum time, but you can just do it throughout the rest of the day. Let me have a quick slurp of my coffee. Sorry, that was a bit of a slurp, wasn't it? Graceful as ever. Okay, guys. So let's go through the points, okay? So the first one is on the top of the head here. Now, some people start way back here, and it's not there. You need to come, it's the top. It's a place called the 100 meeting point. And when we tap, it's like a little bounce. It's just so gentle. It's almost as if you were tapping on a baby's skin. Really, you know, I get this sometimes. I say, tap, don't slap. Okay, so we're just going like this really gently. And then the next point is, oh, it's really funny watching myself do this. I'm gonna have to look away because it, you know, you see yourself reversed, don't you? So it's this point just on the beginning of the eyebrow, okay? And then you come to the side here, and not anywhere near the fleshy part of the eye, not on the temple, but on that bony structure there. That's it. And we're just going to tap. You can use more than one finger if you like. You can tap very gently. And then under the eye. So you've got a big bony rim which comes down like this. So make sure, thank you for all the likes and loves. I'm just loving this. Don't go on the soft part. Don't go too low on the cheek. On that bony bit there. I wish I could see you. I'm sure you're all doing right. You're all okay? And then here, so it's just like anywhere, just under the nose, in between the hair. And then we want to hit that, not hit, we want to get that little bit of the chin that sticks out like this. There we go. And then there's another point, and if you take the point of your collarbone, which is here, it's about 2 inches along and a little bit down. It's where if you stood up and you naturally just brought your hands up like that to your chest, you would naturally reside. So it's just a little bit down, and I tend to use all my fingers for this because I used to do acupuncture, and people's points are in different places, and they sometimes can be an inch or so apart, inch or so different, depending on the size of the body. So if we do it like this, a few taps like this, and remember, kids can do this too. So I'm going to do a live specifically on working with children later this week. So we're doing here, and then we're going to go onto the bra line. So guys, if you're not wearing a bra, guess. It's about 6 inches or so underneath your armpit. So you don't have to hold it, and then taking your hand here, and we're going to go, so if you think of your hand like this, and then we're going to go on the outside of your hand, and we're going to use the outside of each of the fingers, just by the nail, like that. There we go. There we go. And there's another point which I'm going to ask you to use, which is this one here. If you fold your hand, you can see this little baby there, where that finger crease is. Again, that's the point we want to get. But it's quite a small one, so you don't want to be going like this, especially if you're in a tube or something like that, or out and about on the beach. I had to tap the other day, "Please move me from the beach," when I was emptying my shoes of sand. Don't have red air for nothing, I tell you. And I was very compliant, but something about my sense of justice and liberty was triggered. So my God, I tapped all the way home on my hands, not my face. So this is called the karate chop point. Sometimes you can just do that. So literally as if you're bringing your hand down to do a karate chop. So you can use all your hands on that one. Make sure it's not too low down, because remember, you want to get that baby there. You want to get that one there. That's it. Good, doing really well. Let's just quickly go through those points again. So there we go. That's it. I can't see you, but I think you're doing well. Is everybody with me? Give me a little thumbs up if anyone is. That's it. And then that's it. You're doing well. Thank you. And then on that chin. There we go, on that point there. And then under your arms. Thank you, Ellen. How are you guys in Norway? I hope you're good. Let us know how you're doing at the end. And then we're going to go to these hand points. Remember, we're just going to get from the thumb. We don't want this side from the finger, that side. We want this side, okay? Sometimes I do that. I like doing a little kind of like jiggle with my fingers, like that, you know. So we're doing that one. So you can just tap it singularly, or you can just tap whatever you like. EFT is a very forgiving thing. And if you forget something, if you forget a point, it really doesn't matter. Okay? So before I take you through it, and then we're going to get that baby there. What I'm going to say is just to remember that if your anxiety comes up a little bit or feel a bit stressy, keep tapping and it will come down. If you stop, that anxiety is just the body going, oh yeah, I've got this to deal with. And if you stop tapping, it stops the process, this beautiful process of just separating the anxiety from the issue. So what we're going to do, I'm going to show you how you start off. Okay, and I'm just going to go through some really general feelings around this time at the moment. And what I'd like you to do is I would like you to think of a number between 1 and 10. 10 being you feel really totally horrendous about everything that's going on at the moment, and 1 being I got this. It's fine. It's fine. If I get it, I get it. Kids get it. We're all strong. We're fine. Money's going to be okay. You know, just 1 is being totally fine. 10 is totally not. And I want you to think about where you are in that scale. Yeah, got a number? When I think about it, because I've done quite a bit of work on myself with it. Yeah, I feel pretty okay actually. I think I've got a little sensation here, so probably about a 4, something like that, 3, 4. So what we're going to do is this. So we're going to hit the side of this, and I want you to follow my words, because you haven't done this before. So I'm going to keep it really general. However, I might stop and ask you to fill in a few blanks, or to change my words slightly. So if I say something like, I'm really worried about money, and that's not the case for you, then you can say, I'm just concerned about, I'm a bit concerned about whatever it is. So use this structure that I'm going to take you through. But if I say something which isn't the same as you, then you don't need to say it. But it's quite good because the energy of it still gets out there. Remember, we're energetic beings, so if you're not holding that thought, someone else will, and EFT works in strange ways sometimes, more than just the person who's doing it. So we're going to go like this. We're going to go, even though I feel anxious, even though I've got some worries around what's happening in the world at the moment. So just say those words, all the things that you're worried about. Even though there's a lot in my head at the moment, even though I've got a lot of concerns about what might happen, even though I'm worried about other people, I love and accept myself anyway. And if you find that statement hard to say, just say, I accept myself anyway. But if you can shove a bit of love in that, that's really good. I love and accept myself anyway. All we're doing is just accepting that's the way we feel. We're not trying to tuck it away. We're not trying to blame ourselves. And it's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel that. It's wonderful that you're here now, whether it's on the live or later on that you're doing something to change it. So here we go. We're going. There's so much going on. This all happens so quickly. My life has really changed. I'm at home a lot. I'm not able to see other people. My family, we're all cooped up here. Or it might be that I'm on my own and just feel really missing my mates. This all happens really quickly. All these worldwide changes. Even the word COVID makes me feel a little bit strange. Even the word COVID makes me feel a little bit strange, a little bit uncomfortable. Even the word COVID makes me feel uncomfortable. It's had such a huge impact on our planet. So many people's lives have changed. My life's changed. And then you might just want to go through a few things as we tap through the points of the way that life has changed. So for me, it's that I'm not seeing my friends, not seeing my family. I can only see them virtually, and I'm grateful for that. Oh, there was a little bit of something there for me. You'll find what happens. Did you see that big breath I took? That's just a little pattern releasing. Some people yawn loads. Some people, you need to take a deep breath. Some people want to just move. And it's just all signs that there's stuff releasing here. There's a lot going on for me. I think about this a lot. I've been watching a lot on the media. Remember, change it if it's not right for you. I've got some funny pictures locked in my head. I remember seeing on the news a picture of, for me it was a woman who was really having trouble breathing. And that's in my head, and that makes me feel uncomfortable. That makes me feel uncomfortable. So any images or anything in your head that you've seen on the news that are coming up for you, just hold them in your head. Oh, definitely. Are we feeling some little shifts here? There we go. So just thinking, oh, all those pictures, all that stuff in the news, all that stuff in the news, all those pictures really frightened me. All those pictures really scared me. All those pictures, all those memories that I've got from things I've watched, all those pictures, all those things that I've remembered from what I've watched. I'm choosing to release them. I'm choosing to release them. I'm choosing to release them. I'm choosing to support my immune system. Even though I've seen all those pictures, even though I feel a little bit scared, even though I'm missing my friends, I'm choosing, really choosing to feel strong. I'm choosing to feel a sense of ease. I'm choosing to feel a sense of ease, even though so much is going on just us right now. Even though so much is going on just now. It's a lot in my head. But I'm choosing to keep my immune system strong. So then I want you to take a big deep breath and a long exhale. And see where you are now on the scale. And just let me know if you've come down on that scale a little bit. Yeah? Some people contacting me by my... Yeah. Good. Okay. Sorry, I've got a really itchy nose doing this. Sometimes happens when I'm doing EFT. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to do another one just around our immune system. Yeah, good. That's great. So amazing how quickly it comes down, isn't it? So we're just going to do another short tapping session for about 2 to 3 minutes. Yeah, good, 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 good. Hey, thank you. Loads of change there. Good. So we're going to do another short tapping session for just about 2 or 3 minutes. And then what I'm going to do is tell you how you can use it for yourself, either after this or for the rest of the day, or teach your family to do it. So let's just do one last one. So even though a big one for a lot of people is worry about going out of doors. So even though I get a bit worried about going out of doors and going shopping, even though it frightens me a little bit going out of doors and especially going shopping, I love and accept myself anyway. Even though I'm a bit worried about going shopping, all these people in masks, all this staying the right distance between people, all the staying the right distance between people, it's scary. And I worry if people come too near me. I just worry if people come too near me. Should I be wearing a mask? Should I wear a scarf over my face? Oh, I don't know. But I get a bit worried going out. Sorry, I've got such an itchy nose. I get a bit worried about going out. I get a bit worried about going out. Nice breaths as we do this. I get a bit worried about people coming too near me, because I'm worried about catching it. There's been so much on the news about staying your distance. I just get a bit worried going out. I get a bit worried going out. I'm taking all the right precautions. I wash my hands when I come back and do all the right things. But I just get a bit worried going out. Just get a bit worried going out. Just get a bit worried going out. Take a deep breath. I should have asked you to scale this. That's it. So any concerns around going out should have come down there as well. So I'm going to leap on, I might do tomorrow, I'm going to see, but I'll definitely do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. And what you can do is just simply talk and tap, okay? So this is a good thing to use, that even though, and then say what you're worried about, and then I love and accept myself anyway. Because if we do this, it just helps us to really know what we're working on and just put it into words where before it's just been a feeling, okay? So we're just going to come here to that karate chop point, that little baby there, which we're going to use our whole hand on. Even though, state the problem, I love and accept myself anyway, and then just come through the points and just say, oh, when my neighbour Maureen spoke to me the other day and said that her son had got it, I got rid. Just tap, yeah. Just talk and tap. It's made me feel really worried about going even near her or going outside into my own garden. Because what if my kids might already have it? Oh, it'd be awful if my kids, what would I do? Just talk and tap for minutes, several minutes. Sorry, I should have said scale how you feel. Oh, I'm right up at an 8 or 9. Talk and tap, yeah? And then stop and see where it is. If it's come down to about 5, we want this to be quite low. We want it down to be about a 2 or a 3. A 2 or a 3 is, I would say, it's kind of like is normal. It's okay. We just don't want to be being completely careless about it, but we do want to be as free as we can. Remember, we want our immune systems to be yay. Okay, so if you're out and about, remember, don't touch your face. Don't use the tapping points. Only use the tapping points if you've really washed your hands and you're indoors or in a safe space. And if you're outdoors, you can simply just use your finger points, okay? And you can just tap on these points. Sometimes even just holding the points slowly, like this, while you're thinking of the problem. Yeah, so you can do it in your mind, and you can bring your anxiety down even in those circumstances, like that. There we go. So, if there's any questions, I'm going to stay on for another 5 minutes. Just shoot them to me in the posts, in the chat boxes. And so, just as a summary, yeah, you can use this on children. You can use it. I'm going to go through. Use it on yourself first. Get used to it. Using it on yourself. And what I'm going to do next week is I'm going to do a special one just for children on how parents can use it and help their children if they've got really worried about stuff. And I'm going to be focusing next week on really specific issues. As I say, I might have tomorrow off. I'm not sure yet. I might just leave on and do this, but so I'm going to be working on really specific things like lack of belief in your immune system, worry about money, and I'm also going to do one on what was the other one I said I was going to do? Just the addiction to watching the news. Do it. Remember, the brain records stuff, yeah? So there's no comments or questions here. Okay, so my lovelies, I'm just going to hang on for another 30 seconds or so. Thank you, Karen, Gary, Mike, Mured, Ellen, Kishore. Thank you for joining me, and I will be back sharing more over the next couple of days. And if you've enjoyed this and got something from it, can you share it on your Facebook pages so that other people can just get the benefit over the next few days of this really phenomenal technique. So yeah, ciao, loads of love to you. Get meditating over the next, let's shine out the love to this beautiful planet of ours over the next 24 hours. So yeah, love to you all, and thanks for joining me. Gary, hold on. If you have a sudden anxiety attack in a public place, how should we carry it out? It depends how strong the response is, Gary. If it's like just a real sort of worry. Actually, let me say it for everything. Let me come back on this. The first thing is to start on the points. So just start tapping the points, thinking in your head, oh my God, my tummy is just going. And the next thing is start to blow out with your mouth. So little breaths in, long breaths out while you're tapping. And what that does, as you know, Gary, it changes the oxygen and carbon dioxide balance in the body. So when we're anxious, we tend to go, oh, I don't know what to do, and oh gosh, and we scoop up lots of air, and so the system goes, our bodies go, what's going on? What is it? Where's the line? But we might have just seen somebody sneeze or cough, or we might have had a cyclist or a runner. Cyclists and runners guys, keep the distance. Go past us. Yeah, I literally had a runner. I mean, now I won't tell you actually because it was revolting what he did. But yeah, he just spat like a couple of feet away from me. I was like, come on, guys. Anyway, so if something happens when you're outside, the biggest thing is to make sure that you're not breathing in too much. So if you're anxious going out, you might find that you're breathing like this anyway, and you're taking too much air in. So just be aware of your breath. Try and keep it nice and flowing. Try and make sure that you're not gulping air in, and wherever you can, just keep that nice long outward breath. I've posted something about 7-11 breathing. It's a video on this web page, so on the With Insight web page. So go and have a look at that because it's a specific way of breathing. But in a nutshell, it's just breathing in, breathing out for longer than you breathe in. So it goes like this, and then out, 2, 3, 4, 5. When you've got the panic, if something comes up, the breath and the tapping, excuse me, the breath and the tapping work really beautifully together. So start to tap on these points, and as if you're blowing a candle out. Little breath in, and many people, if they get a panic attack, a proper full-blown panic attack, where all of their blood is rushing to their limbs, will stand still. And actually movement is really good. So even if you're just, moving around or taking a few steps forward or just stretching while you're tapping, just anything, just to keep your body moving. But walking just a gentle pace is really good. So Gary, do you have any, I know you're involved, you're a paramedic, so do you have any advice to add to that? So just to reaffirm that, just the breath out, and that 7-11 breathing, if you haven't done it before, it's a really good thing to do, to practice several times a day. Whenever I've been through a tricky time, I go back to the 7-11 breathing all the time. It's a really phenomenal technique for just changing the chemicals in your body. Remember, that's why we're doing this. We're changing the way that we feel. Yeah. I think Gary's come back to us on anything there. Just give him another minute. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that. If you have, guys, leave some comments in the chat box below once the live is ended. I think Gary might have just let's give it another few seconds before we go. No. Okay. All right, my lovelies, I hope that serves you, and take heart during this time. Never has there been a greater time in our lifetimes where we need to be together as a community, where we need to be sending out the love, a sense of community, where we need to just keep our vibe high. And it's not enough just to get rid of the stress. To increase our immunity, we need to feel the joy. So whether it's, getting on, we had like virtual prosecco nights with my mates, and there were 10 of us the other day on Zoom. It was hysterical. Be resourceful, keep the faith, keep the heart, and just a lot of love coming out to you guys now. And thank you for joining me.